Disclaimer: I am not a therapist. I am not a psychiatrist. I am not a life coach. I am simply a person who wants to help expand the minds of others. Now, with that being said, please enjoy the video. Welcome back to my channel. This setup is a little different because I did say I was going to be posting every Wednesday, but then I had to really think some stuff through. And as far as like content and what I wanted to do, what I want to say, and now I'm going to be realistic. When I need to or am called to post, I will post. Because if my main thing is if I don't have anything to say, I ain't saying nothing at all. That's for any platform I'm on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. If I don't really have nothing to say, I'm not posting it. So the setup is a little different. We on my bed. I wanted to come on here real quick and say I was watching an interview with Vic Mensa, and just to see the way his thought process is and the way he think was so dope, and it was really enlightening, and it really had me thinking. He said a sentence where he was saying, "You cannot change what sentence pop up in your mind, but you can change where the period ends." And when I look and I see that, when I hear that, sorry, not see, when I hear that, I hear we are all human. You are going to go through some human stuff, and at the end of the day, your final decision on how you feel at the end of the day determines how the rest of your days will be. And he even talked about how even changing his mind on how he feels within the day. Like he said, he was feeling really crappy, and he ended up missing his flight, and he had to regroup, process stuff, do his little breathing technique, and he actually went to go get the next flight, and they upgraded him to first class. And this just shows me that he also was talking about like just living in gratitude, like making sure that you are being grateful for some of the things that you do have. And he says every time he does this breathing technique or making sure that he grounds himself, it might be very small, but things do change. And people really don't realize that do work. It works. It works. When you change the way you think about certain stuff, when you're not choosing to be negative, when you choose, today is not going to be the day that I let, you can let whatever come in, but the way you let that come out into the world is very, very important. It is, because the next person did not deserve that. And I also wanted to touch on, he was talking about comparing is a thief, he be the thief of joy. He didn't say it in that way, but that's the way, I best know how to explain it, because he was talking about how his friend had purchased a car, and he was like, damn, how come I don't have that? And as soon as you start to think like that, it's a ripple effect that happens where, listen, if I don't say this enough, I'm going to say it again. Make sure you are looking in your own backyard to be grateful for every single thing that God has given you. Because sometimes when you're saying, dang, they got the house, dang, they got this car, dang, they got this, what do you have to be grateful for? You might not have the car that they had, but you have a car. You might not have the house that they had, but you have a house. And there's something about a frequency of staying in gratitude that is really, 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 really important. It's so important. It's really, really important. And I just wanted to come on here and say that. It's hard to practice gratitude though. I'm not saying that this is an easy process, because from the time you wake up, you probably have kids, you probably have worries and concerns about what's going on and this and that. But it really is an art to get up and say, today I'm going to choose to be grateful. Today I don't feel well. Today I do feel sad. Today I do feel envious. Today I don't feel like myself. But if I'm being realistic, especially if it's the things you cannot change, you gotta make sure that you are being intentional about your thoughts. Your thoughts will consume you, and once it consumes you, it consumes your day. Okay? And that's all I want to say. I want to get up on here because I haven't been on here in a while. I'm still here. I'm alive. It's just that if I don't have anything to say, I don't want to say it at all. I just don't want to be putting stuff out. But that really inspired me to get up and pick up this dang on phone and say something, because that really was something that I was like, dang, that touched me here. Right up in here. All up in here. But yeah, okay? Remember to stay grateful, gracious, and thankful. And I will see you guys next time. Remember, being a part of this family means you're a part of the Who family. Meaning we're choosing courage over comfort. We're doing the things that scare us. Because on the other side of that is freedom. I love y'all. And I will see y'all when I have something to say. Until next time.
We're making love. Your cries that can be heard from far and